Welcome to Adtopsy, a show where we dissect ads to figure out why they worked or why they didn't. We got a great segment coming up. It's called the Adtopsy Challenge. The guest has brought 2 ads. We don't know if they worked or not. We're going to guess. We're going to put our reputations on the line. I'm going to be wrong. We're going to be right. Maybe you can guess along with us and see if you're wrong or right. You're going to love it.
The Adtopsy Challenge. Only true creative doctors will get this right. I have a little bit of a surprise for you guys. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's time for the Autopsy Challenge. Only true creative doctors will get it right.
Oh my God. Did you record that?
I don't think it was loud enough.
How
What in
much
the
did that
Fiverr is
cost?
that?
Yeah. How much
Yeah,
did you
that-
spend on Fiverr for that?
That was
Whatever it was.
that was the sponsorship budget for the next 4 episodes.
Oh, great.
That is something
Worth it.
else.
Absolutely worth it. Oh my God. Great.
Always elevating. We'll hear that every episode. So
At
we'll
that
get to.
volume.
We'll get to our sponsors a little bit later, but they are Triple Whale, longtime sponsor. Also, Pencil is a new sponsor. Have a whole segment on that later. So usually when we do these, pick the winner, we don't include the copy because, this show's long enough, but, someone did call us out on not including the copy. And so I think it is interesting just to at least have a look at what the copy is. For these particular ads. I'll say both of these ads were submitted by Courtney. So these are your client, right, Courtney?
Oh, nice.
It is, yes.
Ooh.
Okay, so when we're ready, Courtney, I'll have you reveal who the winner is here. But we're going to start with this first one. And let me pull it up. Okay, here we go.
OMG, my mom is going to freak. My mom is so hard to shop for. I've been looking for the perfect gift for her for a while. I finally found a gift she'll keep forever. This is the Wander Chain. She can collect tokens for each place we visit together. She's going to love it.
Okay, we've internalized that. And now here is the second one.
This is the Wander Chain, and it's the one and only souvenir you'll ever need to buy again. It's the perfect way to collect and remember everywhere you've been, from national parks like my collection to countries, states, cities, and more. If you like to travel, check this out.
Okay, so
Wow.
there we have both ads here. Has everyone sort of chosen what they think it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're watching on YouTube, comment below with which ad you think it is, and then don't wait for the answer in 20 seconds. Just comment below, and then we'll see how you stack up against these on again and off again creative doctors.
Mostly off.
Mostly off. I've only
Yeah.
been off.
I think I got one right. So
Okay.
Feeling good today.
I think I'm going to get this one wrong. I have no idea.
Okay. How many think it is this first ad, the ad on the left? Raise your hand. No one. Okay. So I'm assuming we all think it's the ad on the right.
Are we all going to be wrong again?
yeah, we're all wrong again, aren't we?
We will see.
I'm okay with being wrong. I don't care.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Courtney, why don't you reveal which ad is the right one?
You all are correct.
Yes,
Oh
about
my
time. Oh my gosh.
Finally.
God, I was sweating bullets there for
My
a minute.
job was depending on it.
So, Courtney, what does that mean in terms of kind of where these were run, or some context behind winner or loser?
Yeah, so my mom is gonna freak, the first one that was ran pretty much all of Q4 last year. And so it was they're a big gifting product, right? So it's like you give it to somebody. But I kept pushing this one just because I liked the gifting angle. So it did, both of these got at least 5 to 6K in spend before I turned off the one that wasn't working. But yeah, and then this other one, both all placements, pretty much they have Facebook and Instagram, pretty much nothing else placement wise. But both significant spend enough to say it did or didn't work.
Yeah, 5K is plenty of data to determine if something did or didn't work. It's something where it could work for a while and then stop working as well. I'll say, just looking at this one on the left, I love the song. It's a very bumping song, but the audio is it's too loud. It's like you can't hear the voice, at all.
And Jess, you pay more attention to audio levels than most people, I think. I mean, you certainly do. You pay a lot of attention to it, which says a lot. I mean, it's important. But,
right. It's funny though. Jess and I fight about that. I listen to nothing with sound at all. Everything. I'm a silent scroller, and so it's good to have two different perspectives. He only listens to stuff with sound, so you have to kind of speak to both parties.
Right. And it's not that it's hard to hear the audio, so the ad's not going to work. This ad could work without sound as well, but there are people that do listen to ads with sound. So it doesn't have that little extra bit that could allow it to work for another, 5,000K as well. Any other thoughts on this particular one before we go into the second one?
I'd be curious to see how
OMG,
it
my
would-
mom.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Ike.
I would be curious to see how it would perform if you took out the robot voice and put Courtney's voice over in it.
So we actually did do this. The creator that made this, we A/B tested the robot voice versus her voice, and both of them performed poorly. Yeah, and it was exactly the same words because I did that on purpose. So yes, done. Same.
That's fun.
Nice try.
That would have been a fun test too.
Nice try, yeah.
This is what happens when you have an ad buyer doing the creative. Already done.
Yeah, totally. That's a classic. Also, like, sorry to plug myself, but like, make ugly ads. Like, if you think one version is going to work well, and you test the opposite, it's almost actually you almost made the pretty ads version, because if you were like, the ugly ads version is the robot voice, but still need to backwards test that anyway to see if the real voiceover would do better. I love it.
I'm thinking about sort of the hook here. Not the OMG, my mom's gonna freak, that I like, but the sort of unboxing. And I don't feel like this card's doing much for me, or the box itself. I'm very interested at this sliding out sort of thing. Like, this is a great shot where I feel like I'm interested. What is that? But the box itself, a little bit less so. Maybe there's too many words, or maybe it's too much like kind of literature.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. It looks like mail. It looks like you're opening mail, junk mail or something.
Go from that first cut. If you want it to be interesting, right? Go from that first cut where it's coming out of the package, which, by the way, is not my favorite hook anyway. It's kind of boring. Anyone can do it. Could be for anything. So whatever. But if you go from that straight to the pulling out, at least you're keeping people's interest. At least you're showing something that's like, maybe people would be like, what the heck is that? Versus like showing the junk cards, mail that come with everything that nobody wants ever. And they don't have the time to read it in this ad. They don't have the time to read it when they receive the mail. They don't care. So, I'm a bit harsh, but like, this is, maybe that describes something, but I don't understand why I would care at this point to know your order equals a meal provided. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. And so
I think it's also the thing. Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, it's also the thing where it's good to sometimes say or match what the words are, like this right here, just match what the words are with what you're showing. And so if I'm seeing this card here, but my mom is hard to shop for, but that's not exactly, my brain is trying to do two things at once, so that there's some dissonance there. But the actual product itself, I think, is the interesting part, and that can come maybe a little sooner.
Yeah, totally. That's what I was going to say too, is that, and two, with this brand, the fact that they give back is not really like the main reason why people buy from them. The only time in ads I've ever had anything around that, like emotional, we give back type thing, I've had that work a little bit in retargeting, just because it's a little bit more of like the storyline behind it. But, part of this is like, number one, the words don't match the card. The card doesn't mean anything. You haven't even seen the product by the time that you see the card. And it's just like confusing as to what this is. And you don't get into what it is until like halfway through second, 10 even.
That's the thing I
Right.
liked.
So
I
it's-
liked that it was a delayed
Do you?
reveal.
No
Just-
way.
There's
I
something
think that's why it didn't work. It's just like confusing and like why in the world should I was interested by my mom is gonna freak. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
But then like
plus,
the
I
fact
think
that
that's
you-
too generic.
Fair. Yeah.
Devil's
But
advocate.
then it's like
Really?
It's
It's both. Like anyone can say that about anything.
Yeah, it's fine if you can back it up. But if you pulled it, okay,
Yeah.
my mom's gonna freak. I need to see what this
agree.
is. And it's like, oh, my mom's not gonna freak anymore. I don't know what this is.
My
You know?
mom's not
wanna
going to
see
freak
my
out about this
mom-
postcard.
I want to see my mom freaking out. I want to
yeah,
see.
I want to see
Yes.
me and my mom. I want a
Yeah,
selfie
yeah,
video.
that's
I
a
want
good
me like handing it to her. Like
Yeah.
I need some sort
Sure.
of connection as to why is my mom gonna like this? Why is this for an older demographic even? Or it
Right.
said there is a part that says collect tokens for all the places we've been together. That's the
Mhm.
emotional tie. But
Mhm.
I need a
Yeah.
picture of them like hugging at the Grand Canyon or hugging in Paris, and it's like holding it up or something like that, like a mother-daughter trip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or mother-son trip, I guess. But either way, in my opinion, it just like the hook is like so delayed and it's so confusing because this brand is almost exclusively prospecting, like 95 to 97% of my budget is in prospecting.
Mhm.
And so it's just like you have to get to the point because at the end of the day, it's a keychain and it's kind of an expensive keychain for the sake that it's a keychain. And you have to like build that up, but you have to like invert the pyramid and start with the most important part, in my opinion.
What?
All I'm going to say, Jess, I'm not letting you go. All I'm going to say is like, when I say like that having that time before you reveal what it is, that can work very well if you can fill it with
Yeah.
like building up the problem. If you can fill it with story that's worth watching, that's extremely valuable. Otherwise, yeah, I would say get to the product as quicker. But yeah, so I can go either way on that. But in this case, again, the thing I liked is that there was a delay, and that's okay, a delayed reveal. But the delay there wasn't enough meat in there for it to be valuable.
Yeah, there was no payoff.
And so the last thing is that this ad is missing the whole point of the product, which is so clearly demonstrated in this other one. This is a travel related product, and there's just like everything about this is there's travel. People that this is just going to resonate with people that like have been to these places, aspirationally want to be these places, and so you can't get to the end of this and not know what this product is for, which is sort of happening here.
Can you turn the volume on for this? I'd like to listen to this one again. There's something
perfect way
about
to
this, the
collect-
sound on this.
This
one
is
that
the
was
Wander
actually really
Chain, and
good.
it's the one and only souvenir you'll ever need to buy again. It's the perfect way to collect and remember everywhere you've been, from national parks like my collection to countries, states, cities, and more. If you like to travel, check this out.
Yeah.
Everything about
Nailed
it, even the music is like wanderlust feelings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. I bet the name of that stock song was Wanderlust.
Exactly.
It's really like that, and the voiceover is kind of lo-fi. I like it. It didn't sound like professional studio whatever to me, and maybe it was, but like it sounded like kind of like really
was
natural
Courtney.
lo-fi.
It was my voice
Oh.
on my phone.
Courtney's voice.
Yeah,
I
clearly
made
Courtney.
this.
What'd you record it on a professional mic or on a phone or headset?
No, I
or what?
purposely did it on my iPhone,
Boom.
not
exactly.
with my
So-
nice, lovely microphone that I'm talking on right now.
Exactly. I'd say go even further and downgrade it even more. I did like an Urban Stems ad on like the crappiest headphone mic that I could to intentionally get like a lo-fi sound to go with the vibe. So yeah.
So this one
What
I
do you
actually
guys-
pieced together with like the UGC that we had with this was like probably 7 or 8 different videos that we had that was like collected. But this is kind of like what I was wanting to create. Those aren't my hands. I added the sound, I added the voiceover, added the text, added in like each of the locations after the token to like show that it was matching. Cause I thought that was like, it's an easy place to get confused. I think with this product of like, it's a washer, right? We call them tokens, but they're washers, and you got to like kind of get that part going there. But like
margins.
piecing it all together and like hook, and then there's a call to action. I feel like this overcomes the confusion pretty quickly.
Man, I don't think there's confusion here at all. Like I totally get it.
That's the thing. You get it really fast.
Right.
It clicks
Never
very
seen
easily.
it before.
It's only 17
Right.
Yeah.
seconds, and it gets everything you need
Yeah.
to know in 17. That's effective.
Can we, or do you guys care or think it's interesting the how well manicured her hands are versus the other ad? I mean, they're two completely different ads, but I do think this is something that like we think about sometimes with ads that are like really up close. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, Rachel. What are these shots with the manicured nails, these macro shots? Are these on an iPhone as well? Or are these more like studio? They look a little fancier than the.
I'm actually not sure. I know it was a creator that like was like product placed, but like a TikTok, like, you know, micro influencer. So I'm not actually sure how they filmed it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
I'm gonna say that it matters 100%. I don't think anyone's gonna actively be like, look at the nails, but it's part of the vibe. It's like part of the music. It just connotates something. And you know, if you have your nails done, or if you do your nails, this is going to resonate more. The only time where I think it might not be effective is if the target audience doesn't take care of their nails. I don't know if they're just like hardcore travelers or hikers or whatever, and so this wouldn't fit. But if the target audience, you know, cares about their nails, I think it's important to include these details.
I shot something this morning and I painted my nails on purpose because I thought it would matter because it's an accessory sort of product, styly kind of thing. I don't know, maybe not, but it's also the kind of thing where there are these little pieces where if you have the time to try, like we talked about this a little bit with the sound thing, Barry, you said earlier. If there's things you can do, maybe you might as well do them. I don't know.
The question is the most important part, right? Like, as long if you're thinking about that, like I feel like so many people would just be like, oh no, we only would do this. Like, oh, we're only going to do this with the like the perfect hands. Like, let's hire a hand model or whatever. So like, there's that. I think that, and Jesse kind of touched on it. It's kind of targeting, like, and there's two parts I want to get into it. One is like you can target with it, like who, you know, someone who has nice nails might care more or might not. But also like some of that is true about targeting, and the other is like what just sometimes is more generally aesthetically pleasing or kind of
what does your hat say? What does your hat say, Barry?
I can't see it. Hold on. You know, but they're it's not necessarily like when I say it being satisfying or whatever, it's not necessarily about it being traditionally, conventionally pretty. It's about what looks right and or looks just most eye-catching. So, you know, I could make a very easy case that a gritty, dirty hiking hand, you know, a real, you know, could do just as well, if not better. But the thing here is more about what's believable, what's authentic, and what's eye-catching or keeping attention. And I don't look at it as simply as like manicured versus unmanicured or whatever. I think it's this bigger thing, because even if you were to A/B test that concept, there's so many other psychological variables that go into that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a targeting thing. Like because your note about if you had a gritty hand, that's just a different target.
Yeah.
Different type of person.
But some of this is what I'm also saying is some of this is like one-to-one more relevant targeting, but some of it is also just, regardless of relevance, some of it is just what is visually more interesting.
True.
That keeps attention more.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's what we're up against. Because like that's the whole thing. Like some of it is this one-to-one, like, all right, I want to target this way. But then the other is, well, more people are gonna watch this, even if you know it's less relevant.
That's a really good point, Barry, because I feel like that's really illustrated in the second one, because even the background of the macro shots, it's like on like wooden stumps in the background. It's just more visually pleasing than just the marble countertop on the first video.
Yep. And it's the platform too, because I bet, you know, these people that travel, their Instagram feed in particular is full of highly aesthetic travel shots, and this fits right in. So
and I think a lot too of this type of ad is that you know, in ads and like that psychology piece is that you always want to be able to see yourself in this ad, and you want to be able to like picture yourself with this product. And so like this demographic is, and this product is traditionally women, and women are sentimental and women are gifting. And a lot of times for gifting, the women in the relationship or in the family are the ones that are buying the gifts from the family as a whole. And so like there's another product that this company has that is a little bit more male driven. But this one in particular, it's so women focused. I think it's like 90 to 92% of the customers are women. So that it's like seeing themselves, even if like my nails aren't done, I know that's a woman and I know that that's for me. So along that targeting line, it's like demographic, but also psychologically, before I even get there subconsciously, I'm like, that could be me scrolling through my tokens.
Thanks for watching another segment of Adtopsy. I really appreciate it. If you want more videos like this, click here. It's one of my favorites. Also, please do subscribe, hit that bell notification. We are a small but growing channel, so every sub truly means a lot. If you want to dive deeper into these particular topics, there's a link to the Deep Cuts newsletter in the description below. And if you want to know more about Fire Team, kind of like the agency behind all this, the link is in below as well. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.